Hey everybody, do you ever have days where you feel like you got ran over by a truck and it was a cement truck? That's one of these days for me. It's Monday and I got all this soap to cut and we did the cooking on it. Now we got to cut it. And I think I'm going to be doing this in two different videos, part one and part two. I don't even know where this part's going to come out. This may be the beginning, this may be in the middle of part two, who knows. So anyway, so we got all this soap to cut, and on Friday, I had a really busy day. And then Saturday, I had lotion making classes, plus I had to do some product videos for somebody, test videos and stuff. And then I had the cruise in, and at like 9:30 at night, my store was still packed and the cruise in was over. I had my first pickpocket, but I got all my stuff back. And then I got to cut all this soap on Monday. And yesterday I had my phone stolen. I had to also do videos on Sunday to finish up the videos. I had my phone stolen. Took hours to get that sorted out. I got me another one. And I'll tell you that story if we have time. And so anyway, so let's get to cutting some soap. I thought I'd just show you how awesome the Essential Depot soap cutter is at cutting soap. So what I'm going to do is, instead of putting my face on here so much, I'm going to zero in you down here on this here table here. Alright, so stay with me. Alright, this is bar number 5. Alright, and we're gonna get her out of the basket, give her a tweak, get her out of the mold. Oh, look what I did with my spoon. That was my fault. I didn't tap it afterwards. Oh, you can't see. I didn't tap this mold up and down enough after I swirled it. That was totally my fault. Anyway, oh, but I should show you how to fix that, and I should fix it before I cut it, if I can. Let's see. Now, it's been a couple of days since I made this soap, so it's not going to let me do it. Let's try it, because this soap's too dry. The scraps I got here. So let's see about this other one. See if it's got any of those. And see, now I got some fresh soap that's wet.
My iron is okay. I meant to bring you a copy of that, but printer. Well, I use one that actually has a toner cartridge. I homeschool, and we make hundreds of copies.
You're live and
Let's see, let's do
Okay. So now we got that hole patched up. So now we can cut this one, and we won't lose any soap in the process. So now we can.
I just need somebody to pull it all together. Frankly, I just don't have time.
So there is our bar number 5. So easily cut and so pretty. This is the one where you put a layer of the clear soap, a layer of the red soap, a layer of the clear soap, and then swirl the red soap over into little swirls on the top. Isn't that pretty? All right. So number 5, all done for. I call it the X sometimes. Sort of looks like an X. Or now it sort of looks like a 7 on that one. Okay, so now we'll start with another one. Okay, everybody. This is that soap that totally freaked out and went all bubbly and blowed out, where I left the crock pot on instead of cutting it off. And this is like, it's been in the mold for like 4 days, but it's just been crazy. I haven't been able to cut my soap when I normally do. Doing! There went the piano. And so of course with no super fats, it makes it really hard. It already feels cured. And this right here can be immediately added to laundry detergent recipes. So, and see, it's just beautiful white. It may be a little, I mean, I cooked the daylights out of it. It might be a little high in lye, so, but it's suitable for laundry detergent, I think. And you go slow when you've let your soap get really hard before cutting. You just go really slow because we don't want to break a piano string. Alright. And I'll touch it to my tongue. No popping. Just lots of soap flavor. So it's not lye active. And it's ready for laundry detergent. 2 of these per recipe, I bet, will be just perfect. So that gets that out of the way. Hey, and Miss Meggers, any chance you'd poke that over there on the curing rack for me? All right, and now we're going to do bar number 1. This was colored with the slippery elm bark. And it's so awesome to cut your soap with the Essential Depot soap cutter. And so this has essential oils in it, so it was not so firm, even though it's like several days old. And I didn't realize it, but I had 4 loaves of that number 5. So I went ahead and cut those because I'd already showed you 2 of them. And everything, so there we go. And these are all ready to go on the curing rack, and so easy to do. And Meggers is gonna get those. I'm gonna put me scraps in the scrap bin. I got some of those for sale now. I gotta post them on the Essential Soap buying page and get those sold. This is bar number 23. And it is colored with Alkanette root, which is purpley wine colored, but when it is added to hot processed soap, the heat turns it blue. And this is just 1/4 of a teaspoon for a double batch. If you go darker, you can get midnight black with a tablespoon. And but I always concerned myself that I would end up with black, or really almost black, suds running down people's shower walls, and they would be unhappy. So I started using a smaller amount. Oh, I put those scraps over there, Megan, like you were supposed to take those over to the curing rack, I guess.
These up there, so
Yeah, yeah. We're making a soul train We're pushing them down the table to Meggers. And she's poking them on the shelf. And so now, whoop, forgot my scraps. This is bar number 3. And it is our woman's bar. It is becoming the rage of women all over the world. I ship this one out all over. This one is really, really, really desired.
And we have eaten butter for years, real butter, not, you think this is better, but it's not. We don't, I mean, we don't use, now, we use the real thing. Why would you buy that? Well,
And so here we go. Another loaf. It's so easy. Look at this 4-day-old soap sitting in the mold. Heck, it could have been 5 days. And it's just cutting beautifully.
so my kids go.
No issues.
They know they can't pick in that box, but they go through and they'll see something, take off the shelf, mom goes.
And look how fast this goes. I got all this soap almost done out of the Essential Depot molds, and I only cut 2 loaves without you. That is if my memory holds right. I don't think I turned the camera back on to cut those 2 because I just cut 2 and then I realized I had 4 of those. All right, 1 more to go. All right, let me get these scraps up out of the way. And so here we go. Now we're going to cut some soap from my father's mold. And if you look at these, you will see that this one is slightly skinnier. It was the first one that he ever made by himself, and he accidentally got the dimensions wrong and made it too skinny. So I mound this soap up in this one so it's taller. And that way they still get the same amount of soap, just a skinnier loaf. And what I do is I open up my soap cutter, because the Essential Depot cutter can cut anything. Sometimes if the bar is longer, it just has to have a little help. And so what I do is I plan it out by making a pre-cut, and I've got my amount that needs to be cut, and then I cut slightly past it with the butcher knife, and that cuts it in 2. Then I line up my pre-cut and cut. And I wish Essential Depot made a skinny mold like this, because look how you can just hold that in your hand so perfectly. And the sandalwood makes just the most beautiful brown. And of course, I have to make this much of this every week to keep up with demand. And I'm afeared it's going to get worse as summer progresses. We will see. And so that's the rest of that loaf. And then there is another one. I have to make 3 double batches every week. Do the pre-cut. And then just past the line because I might go sideways or something.
And my aunt never honest.
Cut it in half.
I mean, you know, they did the medicines that are really chemo. And
Ta-da! All cut. And these, of course, being slightly wider, which is the correct length, the correct width. Scraps.
even if you, you know, even if you don't do anything except what's on this page.
This is the one that's just a touch long. This mold is longer than the others, and I always end up with an extra chunk on the end. And Randy likes that piece, so I'll cut that off for him. And when you make homemade molds, you get all these variants. There's one skinny, one a little longer, but it's just so awesome. You can cut any size soap nearly.
Randy's over there with the disco.
Oh, what now?
Randy's over there.
Oh, thank you. And this one, for some reason, I didn't have enough to go all the way to the end. It happens every now and then. I've never quite understood why.
Yeah, it is. Well, I prefer this, much prefer this to anything I've ever seen in traditional medicine. You know,
There we go.
my gynecologist sent my, path to UAB. And she didn't refer me to her, she sent it, and I don't know how to make that doctor's office, she's
And there we go. Beautiful soaps. Oh, those are particularly pretty. Look how pretty that come out.
What is it pretty?
These were cooked in the turkey cooker. Somehow I ended up with a little bit of
she called me and said,
a residue. It is. We ended up, there must have been some poppy, bar number 23 was put in that mold, and we missed a little speck when we were cleaning the mold. There we go. The things that happen in the soap room.
so,
We can't let no poppy seeds go out and get that off. There we go. We found one little poppy seed right here. There we go. Now we've been de-poppied.
they're gonna put you in a system, and they're gonna put you through the ringer, and I'm not going there. After they've been, yeah.
All right. And then there is our bars. Ta-da! Ta-da, ta-da! Ta-da, ta-da! And what would that take me? What was that, 15, 20 minutes?
Cut all these up? Yeah.
I mean, it's just no, it takes no time. I did get it all out of the soap molds. I took a break and got it all out of the soap molds and got it ready to go on there. All right.